Shane Stanton.
Yes, that's me.
Welcome. Hey, for those of you out there, this is Shane Stanton in a series I'm putting together called Meet the Leaders at Loan Depot. And this is a fun one for me. Shane and I met, it was like 2003, wasn't it?
Yeah, I appreciate you dating us. Seriously, thanks.
I mean, we've only been doing it for a few years, right?
Yeah.
But for those of you that don't know Shane, he runs business development here at Loan Depot and has his hands in a lot of things that create value for our loan officers and our technology and our data and what we're doing to create more value for people. So hoping, this gives people who don't know you an opportunity to learn about you in a little different way, and stoked you made some time to do it with me.
For the one person that's curious what I do and who I am, I'm going to send this to my wife. I think she'll be the one viewer, and so yeah.
Hey, if we get one, I think that would be a win for me too.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like building your brand.
Right. Hey, so real quick, why don't you tell us, who you are and how long have you been in here, and just kind of the quick overview of Shane Stanton at Loan Depot.
Quick overview. So I've been in the business, I think a little over 20 years now, or in business development, recruiting, something like that.
Talk
for over 20 years.
Yourself.
Yeah, no kidding. Thank you. I appreciate the reminder. I thought we moved on past that. Thank you.
Not a chance.
Getting to Loan Depot. Well, so I started with a company. This is where you and I met, American Home Mortgage. I think I joined them in like 2002. It doesn't matter. We were there through the meltdown. I found my way over to a regional mortgage bank named Mortgage Master. Coming out of that meltdown, I think I joined them in 2008. Awesome company. Like, I have so many friends from there still. We had a great trajectory of growth. So much so that in 2015, January of 15, we ended up doing, I think we said merger, right? That was the PR or the PC term. Loan Depot acquired us. To really help fill in kind of the eastern half of their sales organization in retail. So that was in 15. A lot of folks from that are still here, myself included. I've been with Loan Depot ever since. I think this is year 6, right? 21 minus 15, which is insane. But as you said, I'm responsible for business development. What that means is I get to partner with guys like you and women like you that are just awesome biz dev partners, headhunters, understand growing the brand, adding value to the market, and obviously trying to attract talent. I'm lucky that I also get to toy around with the platform a little bit. And as you had said, some of it's data science and tools and this and that. But if it helps retail do more business, I'm game to try and help.
Yeah, it's great because there is an intersection. All the data we use to kind of identify who we want to talk to and what markets we want to go into, it completely transfers to what loan officers or managers would lead their teams would be doing. So it's great to see that it has the crossover and it's not like compartmentalized. So
yeah, well, and there's so much parallel to like what originators, for example, do with realtors, that recruiters will do with originators, right? I mean, if I'm an originator and I'm trying to establish a relationship with a realtor, it's not like it's a one and done call. Hey, you want to do business with me? And the realtor says yes, which they never would in the first conversation. And it's not like it's, well, if they said no, I'll never calling him again. It's this long life cycle. And the more you know the realtor, the more intel you have on the realtor, the more intelligent you sound when you talk to them, right? And that's where data and data sciences come in recruiting, right? When we call originators, we know how much business they do, where their business is, we know their referral partners, yada, yada. And we're building an ecosystem for the same thing for our realtors, and understanding their business and where it takes place. And, because it's very community-based, right? And who their partners are. So it's a lot of parallels between the two. It's been a lot of fun.
A little different than just cold calling off of rosters, back in 2003 and hoping people, the numbers that they would tell you be accurate.
You remember that? You don't know who you're calling. So you can't even like go, yeah, I'm calling you for a reason. Cause really I'm calling you cause you're a name, which is just awful. Now at least you're introducing yourself to hopefully the people that it looks like you can add value to. So
it's just really intentional, which is important. I think, there's only a certain amount of time and you could be intentional about who you're going after and why. And
which is the heart of what we do, right? It's trying to add value to folks, whether it's a client, a referral partner, or in our case, on the recruiting side, a mortgage professional. And, now you at least can try to create some filters to make sure that you're talking to people that you have a potential to add value to.
Definitely. All right. So this is a question I like asking, and I know it might be repetitive for people I'm interviewing, but like, what do you feel sets you apart as a leader, and what fires you up when you wake up in the morning and, hop in your chair?
Sets me apart as a leader. God, that's like, what's your spirit animal?
That's the next question.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, wow. The sea cow. I don't know. I honestly, I wouldn't say I separate myself, as a leader because of characteristic. Maybe I just don't view myself that way. What I'll say is myself as a professional is, I'm going to work my ass off. And I really, really, truly care about the people that I work with. I care about the people that I work for. I care about the people that, again, we're trying to get to do business with. Like, I actually want to add value to them, which is a unique world, in my opinion, to live your life, to actually be passionate about it, because I'm in this, like talking about what gets you said, I think, get up in the morning, right?
Fired up.
I'm in this constant state of, I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm not helping the organization enough. We're not accomplishing enough, because I don't want to let anyone down. And so what gets me going is that, but I'm not smarter than anybody. I don't have, like this amazing DNA strand that sets me apart. I just try to outwork the competition and really give a crap about what I'm doing, and try to actually, do what I say, and add value to people that I work with.
Yeah. Even back in 2003, you were the hardest working man in the business. So it's only amplified from where I sit. I see what you do.
Yeah. Thanks.
What do you love about kind of what you do? I mean, we've been grinding it out for 20 years, like you said. I mean, some people would get bored. Some people would want to do something different. Like, what keeps you kind of having fun and passionate about what you do? And you kind of alluded a little bit to it earlier with some of the, things that motivate you, but how do you keep going?
We're not robots, right? And in any sales gig, you ask any originator, it gets old if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. But the beauty about this industry is, it is a journey. Like, one question leads to one answer that leads to another question that leads to another answer, and it just kind of follows itself. And so, like, if you look at an originator's job, while the base core function is the same, right? Get a loan, close a loan, you served your client. Everything that's in between has changed, over the last decade, right? Like 10 years ago,
totally
10 years ago, we weren't talking about personal brand on social media and, engagement and journey campaigning. Quicken hadn't shown us that leads and getting the consumer first in purchases were actually a thing. So we never thought of that, right? And so when you look at the business development side, it's very much the same thing. Like 10 years ago, Shane, what do? Data science? Business intelligence? Like, what? That's not like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I might not even know today. I might be faking, who knows? But so the thing that I enjoy is, as we continue down this journey, for me, what Loan Depot has given me, and this is the one thing I do, I guess what would separate me is, I'm constantly curious and trying to do more. And you working hard can only get you so far. Sometimes you have to look for smarter ways, faster ways, more efficient ways, ways that will get higher conversion. And that forces you to stretch. That forces you to experiment. That forces you to fail, right? And so what I love, about this industry is it affords you that opportunity, because there's not one way to do something. And so there's just a lot of nooks and crannies that you can explore. And the second that you think you have something figured out, you don't, because it changes. And so there's just a lot of avenues of increasing your own personal business, your company's business. And for me, I haven't run out of things to work on, So I love that about our business.
Yeah, it feels like a lab here sometimes, where it's, all right, here's where we're going. There's some gaps. Now put on your creative thinking cap, and like, how do we get there? If everybody's doing it this way, how do we do it different?
some of the stuff you and I are working on and the team, right? You know, it's not just you and I, obviously. I have no idea how we got to where we're at, you know, but the fact that we're here is amazing.
Totally.
Because it's going to add value to people that are involved. Yeah. So it's cool.
Thank you for that. Switching gears, you've worked with a lot of leaders in your career at different companies. You've maintained relationships with a lot of great leaders around the country. What leaders do you respect most and why?
I mean, you said that I'm a leader. I mean, I should respect myself.
Oh, well,
you, of course.
You respect yourself, of course.
Yeah. That's a deep list, man. That's a deep list. You know, when you've got a personality type that you don't ever think you're enough, you kind of respect most leaders. But yeah, so answering this is tough because obviously I'm going to leave off dozens and dozens of people. To start, the first name that probably hits my head is Dan Hansen.
One of the greats.
You know, it's funny when I first met him, you know, we were kind of on opposite sides, you know, different teams, even though we were both at Loan Depot, because I was mortgage master and he was iMortgage, you know, and it's like the Sharks and the Jets, you know, of who's going to win. And I within minutes, I knew I was going to work for that guy and be grateful for it and learn a lot. I have not seen a leader who can really bring a community, a company, a sales force, a room together in the way that Dan can. I mean, he just his MC skills. Like if he could run away from the mortgage business and just be a professional MC of events, and the guy would have been one of the most successful people in the world. I mean, he's just got this skill of commanding, you know, the environment that he inserts himself in. And in a way of not to put himself front and center, but a way of sincerely trying to get the people that are in that room to help them accomplish whatever goal they want. The other thing that he does extremely well is he's able to take really complex kind of environments and situations and make them simple, you know, and have kind of simple thoughts and actions around it.
That's a gift.
Yeah. It's insane. So I respect the hell out of that. I can't command, you know, my own house, my own office, you know, much less, you know, a company. So, you know, I got to give a shout out to Paul Anastas, who I worked with at Mortgage Master for a few years. He, you know, talked about the ability to kind of see through the crap and really just kind of get to the heart of what matters. You know, like he always had a line, you know, like, look, sometimes the best way to get over the hurdle is just remove the hurdle, you know? And I loved it. Like, he was just like, stop trying to solve that problem. Just go around it, right? Go around it and go do something else. Like, so, you know, he had this amazing ability, to really just kind of get to the core of what we're actually solving and just solve that and realize that all the white noise around it didn't matter. I mean, I could really keep going, but you know, Bianchi, Walsh, leaders that I've never even spoken to, but from afar, that you got to respect what they've done in organizations like Jacobson at Fairway and Casey over at Movement, right? But the thing that I think the common thread that for me, that I appreciate out of all these people is they're leading like world-changing organizations, right? Like what we do matters. And you talk about the companies that all these guys are at. It's a big part of the market share that we have influence over, but they all do it in a way that feels humanized.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Very clear with the vision, and a lot of people are behind them, wanting the same direction and being all in.
But they're not they're not using words like synergistically dynamic approach. Like they're just these are you know, women and men that you could have beers with. Right. Yeah. You know, and sit down and enjoy. And I just find that so damn incredible. And probably I respect it because I think I'm that personality type, and I'm probably just jealous that I'm not at their level. You know what I mean? Because like, hey, I'm like them and I can't get there. But yeah, so I just respect people that can do this without losing their soul and do it in a way that cuts through the BS and just kind of solves a problem. So yeah, there's a lot of leaders out there, man. I could keep going, obviously.
Oh, for sure. Well, those are good ones, and thanks for sharing that. All right, rounding it out, who is Shane Stanton outside of work and the hustle you do every day?
Yeah, I've got two jobs. It's this and Family Guy. Family Man. Outside of work, man, it is my kids and my wife. And that's about it. I when the kids got to a certain age, golf clubs got put away, the soccer cleats got put away. Guys trips, started to go down, a lot. And I put in a lot of hours during the week. Last thing I'm going to do is, take half of my Saturday or all my Saturday to go do something else. Right. So, it's kids sports, it's kids school. Yeah. I mean, look, they like me still, I think.
What kind of sports are your boys in and your daughter?
Yeah, so my daughter dances a lot. If anybody has a child who dances, yeah, it ain't no joke, man. I thought, growing up, I played a lot of sports. It was like you got practice, 4 or 5 days a week, a couple hours. Dance, man, it's 5 days, 4 hours. It's just insane to grind.
Full on.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So, and then my boys, between the two of them, they're playing baseball, hockey, are really the two that kind of settled on, and they're young enough that I'm big on just go do everything. So they play a little lacrosse, a little soccer, a little basketball, but baseball and hockey have, for whatever reason, percolated as of late.
Awesome. Well, hey, for those of you that didn't know Shane, hopefully this gives you a little bit more. And Shane, it's awesome working with you, dude. I love coming to work every day and just being able to think big and have fun doing what we do. So
absolutely. Absolutely, man. And for the one person, my wife, who saw this, I hope you enjoyed it, but thanks, Steve. Appreciate you, man.
All right, later.
Later.